Hello and welcome everybody to this month's forum. And let me start with just a rough idea in case you're new. I'm going to say a few words to introduce my team. And then this time we have 3 speakers. And then after the speakers, most of us talk relatively short. Then we have questions. Let me start with introducing Evan, who run the technical part of this and coordinate us.
Good morning, everyone, from Sydney, and welcome. Let me know if you need any help in the chat. Thank you.
And Ernie will be monitoring and running this workshop, this forum. Yeah.
Hello, everyone. Welcome. It's good to see you again. We have a large number of participants. This is going to be very exciting. Everyone's very interested in the topic. So enjoy and put any questions that you have into the chat box, and we will try to monitor that and get the questions to Dr. Lam toward the last part of the session. Enjoy.
Thank you, Ernie. Well, we all beginners once, and it's so important that when you're a beginner, you get to like Tai Chi, and then you can go on for many years, like me, nearly 50 years since I've been doing Tai Chi. So we have 3 speakers that are really experienced teachers. The first one is Jocelyn Simpson. She's an amazing lady. I know her for many years. She's a great teacher. She's just so passionate about Tai Chi for Health vision that she runs many workshops, train many instructors, including the one in this study by the Georgia Tech University. It's an amazing study. 5 years ago, it started before COVID, and it's using Zoom to teach Tai Chi to people who are not able to travel, and the result is coming out. And Jocelyn trained the instructors, guiding along the way. And of course, she's got really nice experience. So she's going to start, and then I'll introduce Pat, and the third speaker is myself. So Jocelyn.
Hello, everyone. I'm so happy to be here. I'm here like nearly every time. And I just think it's a great opportunity for us to get together and share things together and see each other. That is the beauty of Zoom for sure. So tonight we're talking about how to teach beginners Tai Chi. And sometimes when you've been teaching for a while, you have to reach out and grab that beginner's mind. Because you get used to thinking the way you think about Tai Chi and how you do it. And sometimes we forget how it was when we stepped into that classroom the very first time and didn't know anything at all about Tai Chi. So we're going to think about that as we go. And I'm going to talk about 3 different points about how to teach beginners. And I'm just going to give you a little bit of background. I was in that boat really because I was teaching people that I'd taught for years. And so they had progressed, and my first class knew everything I knew. And just recently, this fall or spring, sorry, I started teaching for the Atlanta Regional Commission. And I have 2 beginner classes, and they are true beginners. So it gave me an opportunity to revisit that. And so I'd like to share some of the things that I have noticed from teaching that population. And the first thing that I discovered that I feel is essential is to make a connection. You want to make a connection with your participants, and you want them to connect with each other. It's very important.
Thank you for having me on the forum to share my thoughts on teaching Tai Chi to beginners. You know, we have so much on our minds as instructors when we're teaching any class, but especially a class for beginner students. There's a lot to think about. I remember a Chinese fable I once heard about a little boy whose master told him that he needed to learn to carve, and his task was to carve a Buddha out of a piece of wood that he gave him. It was quite a large piece of wood. So the boy worked on it for a day, and at the end of a day or two, he had a 3-foot tall Buddha statue that was okay. And he said, "Okay, master, I finished. I'm ready for the next task." "Oh no," his master said, "that's not good enough. You need to work on it and refine it and carve out some more expression and detail in it." So the boy worked on it for 2 more days. It got smaller, and he was very proud of it. He said, "Okay, master, I've done a good job this time, and I'm ready to make more Buddhas. I'd like to do more of these." And the master said, "No, not yet. This one isn't finished yet. You need to work on your Buddha statue more and carve into it, think of the details, sand it, and polish it." The cycle repeats. Eventually, the boy finishes a Buddha statue about 6 inches tall, but it's beautiful. It has gorgeous detail, and he's worked very hard on sanding and polishing, and he's learned that it takes patience to do something right. This is the most important thing that I try to remember when I'm teaching a beginner class. I get impatient with myself teaching foundation movements or opening movement over and over again, class after class. I teach 7 classes a week, and often I'm teaching beginner classes. I want to hurry the participants along so they can get to the good stuff. I want to hurry them along so they can get to a more exciting move or finish the set. I have to remind myself that just as the point is not to have a lot of Buddha statues, the point is to have spent time refining and improving and being in the moment and completing one part. There's no point in completing a lot of postures just to get to the end of a set. I remind myself that I need to take time and use the stepwise progressive method, teaching only one new movement a
Hello and welcome. I'm so glad you are here. The fact that you're here tells me you care about teaching, and that makes me very happy to share what I know about teaching with you. I really like Pat's presentation. It is so important not to overwhelm your beginners and teaching them one step at a time. One of the most common mistakes I have seen with new instructors is that they teach too much too soon. Another master trainer, another Pat, told me this story that she was doing a beginner's class, total new beginner, and one of the instructors she just trained was there to learn. So Pat thought that would be good for the instructors to have some actual experience, so asked her to take over sometime in between, and this new instructor within 10 minutes taught the whole Tai Chi for arthritis and falls prevention program to the total beginners. And that is understandable. When you are less experienced with something, sometimes you feel there's a need to prove yourself, and the way to prove yourself is to show everything you know, which actually not turn out to be a good way to do things. So let's think about Pat's message. On the other hand, I have this experience that in my Tai Chi school, which has been there for nearly 40 years, and that's the birthplace of the Tai Chi for Health programs. And we have amazing instructors, and I support our instructors. So I go to their class to support them, which means that I don't take over, I become their assistants. So one day I was doing that, visiting Janet's class, and she's a great teacher. So I didn't have to do anything. I was just there quietly like a participant. At the end of that lesson, by the way, that is total beginner, the first lesson learning the Tai Chi for Beginners program. And Janet teach just the right amount in stepwise progressive teaching method, and the participant looked really happy. But I kind of realized I learned something about Tai Chi even in that class. So this goes to say that Tai Chi has so much depth that even though you are very experienced, you can still learn from the beginner's material, which give us a reason, no need to rush, no need to teach everything. We can teach one thing at a time, and people will learn better and enjoy it more. Pat also asked us to think of what we were like when we were beginners. I can think back, even though it's a long time ago, one of my beginning lessons with this teacher, he has dirty fingernails, and I didn't go back. So first impression is very important. Beginners are important because we're all beginners at one stage. And well, we're all going to start with the first impression. And when you give people a good first impression, then you have more chance of keep having them, and they have more chance of being empowered to have a healthy and more healthy life. So if you want to give people a good first impression, make sure the environment is comfortable, no dirty fingernails. Well, I mean, the place reasonably clean, have good lighting, it's safe, have good space, and a welcoming, comfortable sort of atmosphere. In my school, we often ask our regular participants to come in when we start taking new participants, so that the new guys feel welcome and have somebody to talk to, and that create kind of nice atmosphere. A comfortable greeting with smile is really helpful, and contrast to what some people think or some people believe, that you've got to show off how good your Tai Chi is, how much you can jump and how much you can deliver force. That doesn't always, in fact, it doesn't help creating a good first impression. It can be threatening, actually. I think having what I call quiet confidence, that is when you are comfortable to share, when you have good enough knowledge, generally speaking, that gives you a quiet confidence that you knew you don't have to show off. You just show people how much you welcome them, and more importantly, how much you care. People really feel good if you do care about them. And to care about them, first of all, we need to find out why they come to Tai Chi. And if you can show them that you are able or have the capacity to help them fulfill their objective, that it's a good way to create a good impression, good way to keep people with you. Quick summary. The three most important points are to create a comfortable environment so people feel comfortable to stay, and to show that you care and you have the ability and the training to help them fulfill their objective or empower themselves to better health and wellness. And then to teach with the stepwise progressive teaching method, one step at a time, our iconic teaching method. Of course, everyone have your special way and perspective to help people learn best. And I have studied extensively and using experience of many of our colleagues in medical studies. When I write the book, Teaching Tai Chi Effectively, which I outline a different system with different perspective and the reasons and studies to back it up. So if you haven't read it, I hope you do, and I hope you enjoyed reading it. If you have, sometimes it's worthwhile to have another look again. I look at it now and then myself to find out that, wow, that's good. I'm glad I say that. So I hope you enjoy teaching, because it's for me, that's the most fulfilling feeling, to be able to help empower people to better health and wellness. And I look forward to see you in person.
Thank you for coming. I see you there again. It's wonderful to see all of you and spending your time with us, and hopefully you're getting some good information out of it, and that can help you with your teaching in your classes. Dr. Lam always tries to have a good project on, so that it's for everybody. And we had two good speakers as well this morning. Pat, who has been with us since our Tai Chi started many years ago. She's been a master trainer, and Jocelyn. And I hope you've got some. You will get the recording anyway, so you can go over that and make notes in case you haven't been able to. Is there anything at all now that anyone wants to say or ask before Dr. Lam finishes? I don't know. Anything at all, anybody? It's been great to see all of you. Just looking for any more messages.
I could just quickly say, Nuala, I just wanted to say hi. I'm Evan Wells, and I'm the CEO of the Tai Chi for Health Institute, as well as personally connected to Dr. Lam as his son-in-law. But recently this year, I've been working more with the Institute, and I put my email address and the service at TCHI.org address into the chat, so that I would love to hear from all of you at any time. If you have questions about the website or any technical issues about certifications, or that's for service. But if you have any other things you'd like to bring up about the Institute, we'd always love to hear from you. I actually put as well the form for the forums. If you have a thought for a good topic for next month, or maybe a future idea for how we could improve these forums, we'd love to hear that. And there's a separate forum for that, but you can always email that to me just as well. And Ernie, of course, is fantastic. She's in the USA. I'll let her say something quickly.
I enjoy, so thank you all for letting me travel internationally. I don't get out of the USA, not too much out of my own state of Missouri, right in the center of the USA. But thank you for allowing me to be part of this. I've enjoyed so much meeting you, seeing the same ones over and over, and meeting new people from new countries. That's wonderful. Evan, are we going to get a picture?
We should get a picture. I was just going to say, Ernie and I have been working together through Zoom for maybe over five years or 4 years. I don't know how long it's been, at least 4 or 5 years. And
Very exciting.
we just met for the first time in June at the USA week-long workshop, and it was fantastic. That workshop was really great. Lots of participants and wonderful ideas being shared. And you probably saw in Dr. Lim's newsletter that the dates and the registration are open for the Sydney workshop in January. So I would love to meet you in person if you can, think about coming down under. I highly recommend it. It's an absolutely beautiful setting, and it's an incredible time to spend at Tai Chi camp. Someone said in America, they love it, and it's just an incredible experience. So, yeah.
Thank you, Evan. I think Helga has her hand up. Have you, Helga? Have you got a message?
Yes, I just want to say, Ernie, I so admire you because I see the clock on the wall behind you and it shows 3 o'clock. And I know that's not in the afternoon.
Thank you, Helga. Thank
Yeah.
you. Well, we're getting some thank yous in. Thank you all very much for coming along, and we appreciate you coming and sharing with us. And we hope you've enjoyed it and take something back that you can use in your classes. Hello, Seth, down there at the bottom. I've just seen you. Hi. Thank you.
Seth is from USA. He's from USA.
No, have him on my list. On the list. You'll get a recording, everybody, anyway, and then you'll be able to look back and see, take more notice of the talks and make some notes for yourselves. Okay. If there's anything, anytime, please contact us. We're happy to help. Like Evan has said, he's our miracle man, our miracle tech man. We couldn't manage without him, actually. Thank you, Evan. Thank you for doing everything.
Well,
Thank you for all the work you do, and Ernie for staying up from last night to this morning. What time is it now?
Bless you.
Helga has come to both. She comes to the zone 1 and also
I'm in the
to
morning anyway. Thank you all for coming and spending the time. We appreciate it.
Dr. Lam would like to take a photo, I think. Let's let Dr. Lam lead us.
Yes, let's take a picture. Have to start with a greeting. Nice.